Ooh, hey, what's up? It's Pizza Loving Nerd here. I'm gonna stop just recording me talking with my desktop because that's boring. So I'm gonna start showing gameplay so that you just don't watch me just stare at my desktop and listen to me rambling about stuff. So now, instead of watching my desktop do nothing, just stare at it, you can now stare at a video game that I'm playing. It's probably gonna be Minecraft because why not? Or Mine Test. I might switch to that if I like it enough. If I like multiplayer enough, because all I do on Minecraft is play multiplayer. Anyways, um, it's I'm going to be making a video on 3 people in the Linux community that I hate. So, what inspired me to make this video? Well, one, um, I not um I watched this video a while ago by Pseudo Linux about Linux hipsters, and I agreed with every point he made in it. However, Pseudo Linux quit YouTube, which sucks. So, yeah. So he quit YouTube, so you can't watch that video anymore, which kind of sucks. But um, everyone quits YouTube at some point. Eventually, PewDiePie is gonna quit. Eventually. Maybe he won't, but probably. Um, anyways, so, and then, I already thought about making a video similar to his, but then DistroTube made a video. Um, and it was in good detail on the bad people of the Linux community. So, this is my response to that trend of making videos about the Linux community. So, um, anyways, this is my video on 3 people that I hate in the Linux community. So, let me just make sure desktop audio is off. Okay. So first person is the people who think only their opinion is right. So, for example, here's a little reenactment of what I'm about to say, or I'll do it after I say it. But basically, what these people do is they think that their opinion is right and your opinion is wrong only because it's different. Maybe if your opinion was the same, they'll think you're right. But if your opinion's different, they're like, you're wrong. And they like belittle you about it and stuff. Like, we're all entitled to our opinions, but that doesn't mean that that it's acceptable to tell someone they're wrong because they like Gnome more than KDE. I hate Gnome, but I'm not like, dude, you're wrong. Gnome sucks. KDE's better in almost every way. I'm not like that. Unless someone does that to me, then human beings naturally want to defend their choice. Like if someone were, and that's how flame wars start in the community. People are like, "Ew, Gnome sucks. KDE's better." Dude, KDE is better in almost every way, and then a flame war starts. That's how flame wars start in the Linux community. So don't do that. And then, so yeah, just just remember that people are entitled to their opinion, and just because they prefer a different distro, program, desktop environment, you name it, doesn't mean that they're wrong and that they're a bad person. There's people who think that other people are bad people because they use a specific distro or don't use the same distro as them. Like, what the heck? That's. Okay, so the next person that I will be talking about is the Linux memer. So what these people do is they sit on Gentoo and Reddit all day, and they just look at Linux memes. And then what they do is they go onto YouTube comments and just start just spamming memes and stuff. And these are also known as Linux hipsters, just as Pseudo Linux called it. And then what they do is they use Void and Void. They either use Void, Gentoo, or Arch Linux with i3 just because it's what other Linux hipsters use, and I think Linux hipsters use that choice because it's harder than everything else. And then they make fun of you for using noob distros. Ew, you're on Ubuntu. Come to Arch with i3. They just annoy me. And I think the biggest example of this is is Luke Smith. So if you watch one of his videos, he's using i3. I can't remember which distro. I think it's Void, or is it? It's either Void or Gentoo. I can't remember which of the three. But Luke Smith just like he puts memes in all of his videos. Just I just can't watch him. Like I watched one video by him about why he doesn't like Mac or Apple projects. And I agreed with him. It's just the video was unwatchable because it was filled with all these memes from the Linux hipster community or the Linux memer community, or I guess the Gentoo or the 4chan community. They just go on Gentoo. So to be a proper Linux hipster, here's the checklist. 1, you have to watch Luke Smith. 2, you have to go onto 4chan at least once every like 10 seconds. 3, you have to go onto Reddit at least once every like 4 seconds. So you just have to you have to watch Luke Smith and then go onto 4chan and Reddit a lot. And then they just make all these Linux memes and comment Linux memes on the videos and then belittle people for using something other than Gentoo, Void, or Arch. And I hate them. So, not all of them are bad. Like, there's this guy, I can't remember his name, with a Pepe profile picture. And his memes are actually funny. Like, when he comments memes onto my videos, I sometimes actually get a legitimate chuckle from them. But there's other people who just like there's other people who just belittle people for not using Gentoo and make some boring repetitive Linux jokes that are on 4chan and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so the last person in this, or the last person I'm going to talk about is the people who who belittle other people for not using free software. And by free software, I don't mean software that costs no money, just open source software. For example, I once said in my video that I use NVIDIA drivers, or the proprietary drivers, because my computer doesn't work with the open source ones. And this guy just posts a comment belittling me about using the NVIDIA drivers, the proprietary drivers, and I specifically said in the video that I prefer open source drivers, but the open source ones don't work on my desktop. I specifically said that my computer doesn't work without them, and then he just belittles me about using proprietary software. I deleted this comment because it made me mad, but it still happened. Mark my words. And then another instance is I was watching a live stream. I think it was a Switch to Linux live stream. And I said the only reason I have a Windows partition is so I could use Microsoft Office for school. Because my school requires that I use Office and I get a free student account of it. It's kind of nice, but at the same time, I prefer LibreOffice and I'm forced to use Microsoft and it doesn't run on Linux. I only use my Windows for that. But then someone in the stream started getting mad at me. He's like, use LibreOffice. It's better in almost every way. And proprietary software is crap and you shouldn't use it. It just made me... I don't have a choice between LibreOffice and Microsoft Office. Well, unless it's school related, then I use LibreOffice. But still, I don't... I just don't. You shouldn't. People have their needs. You shouldn't use. If people have the option whether to use free or non-free software, and you shouldn't belittle them for using only not using free software. And yeah, and I doubt that everyone who does this. I doubt most of them don't even contribute to open source things. This is what DistroTube was saying. I just want to give him credit because then it seemed like I was patronizing him. But he said in his video, which I completely agree with, is most of these people don't even contribute to the open source community, other than telling people to use only non-free soft stuff. And I mean, they probably have some non-free driver or. And also, this is a quote. This is also something DistroTube said. They probably have some non-free driver that they have, that they don't even realize, or they're just not. They're just using a distro that one of those distros that aren't only non-free applications, which are fine to me, but some people don't use those. But some people are like, oh, I use only open source software, and since you use proprietary software, I'm superior to you. You should only use open source software. Like, oh my god. But secretly, they don't even realize, or not secretly, but they don't actually run only non-free software. Their distro comes with a couple proprietary packages. I'd say this is not all of them. Some of them use only non-free software, but a solid chunk of them do this, like I'd say like 10%, and you shouldn't belittle people for using non-free software. Like, people use software for a reason, both free and non-free. So you shouldn't belittle them for their choice in software. That's like saying, "Oh my gosh, you like pickles. Pickles have vinegar in them. You shouldn't eat anything that has vinegar on it. Um, you should eat vinegar free." That's kind of a bad analogy, or yeah, bad analogy because I don't know, but that's basically what they're saying. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up. This video is getting kind of long. If you're one of these, oh yeah, before I wrap this up, there is one exception to this, which is the founder of GNU himself, Richard Stallman. But one, he doesn't belittle people for using non-free software. He encourages using free software, but he doesn't belittle people for using non-free and proprietary software. And two, he does run only, or as far as, he's the founder of GNU, and they promote distros that use only non-free software. And also, they're what has made Linux thing in the first place. And yeah, lastly, he doesn't get mad for the smallest things, like using non-free drivers because your computer doesn't work with open source drivers. Like, some of those people would be like, get a better PC. Like, if your computer doesn't support like open source drivers, then you should get different hardware. No, I'm not gonna spend money just to use on new hardware parts just to use only open source software. Are you kidding me? And open source software is supposed to be free. Well, buying new hardware to do that is not obviously cost money, so yeah. I mean, free as in free beer at the moment. That's what I meant by free just now, not free as in freedom, but you know what I mean. Anyways. Yeah, so that's my video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!